Okay, so the question now is that paano nga ba naging neutral ang isang atom? So generally the atom has an equal number of electrons and protons. If the atom has an equal number of electrons and protons, then the charge positive and negative will be cancelled out. The reason why it become electrically neutral or naging zero siya. If the neutral atom gains extra electrons, the number of electrons becomes greater than the number of protons, which will I discuss later. As a result, the atoms will become negatively charged atom, and these negatively charged atoms were also known as negative ions. So the picture tells us that we have transfer of electrons. So again, klaro dito, when an atom loses an electron, magiging positive ion siya. But when it gains an electron, class, magiging negative ang ion. So, okay class, so nakita natin dito, okay, again the picture tells us that the sharing or the transfer of electrons, that dot represents an electron. So once that electron from that element will transfer to other elements, so maging pag mag-transfer, pag mawalan siya ng electron, loses electron, maging positive. That's why it became Na positive. So bakit siya positive? Kasi nga nag-transfer ang kanyang electrons sa other element. So yung naman nag-accept ng electron or gains electron, magiging negative siya. That's why yung ating oxygen dyan na nag-accept ng electron, is you can see that charge now become 2 negative. So that negative indicates that nag-accept siya ng electron. Alright? So naging negative ion siya. So gains electron becomes negative, and transfer of electron or lose electron, the ion positive siya. So maging positive ion siya pag nag-donate or something like that, donate or nag-share. Pag ito namang nag-gain, nag-accept, so magiging, ang kanyang charge magiging negative. So we have Na plus, and then we have 2 negative. So that's it. Okay, let me read what is being written in your module class. So it is being stated here that, okay, the example figure 1, sodium atoms transferred electrons to oxygen. The resulting specifies after the transfer of electrons has been made are positively and negatively charged atoms. So yun yung gains and accept electron or lose electron. Sodium transferred one of its electron to oxygen, so which resulted to the difference in the number of protons, 2 electrons. In this case, sodium has more protons than electrons. That is why it became positively charged. So again, in this case, sodium has more protons and electrons. That is why it became positively charged. All positively charged species are called cations. In contrast, which oxygen receives 2 electrons from sodium atoms, the number of electrons is greater than its protons. This made the oxygen atom to become negatively charged. The species which contains negative charges are called an ion. So going back to the picture class, so notice natin that 1 electron is being transferred to oxygen. So kaya nangyari Na plus. So bakit siya walang number? So understood yan, pag walang number ang charge, it means 1. Now, for the oxygen naman, since siya ang nagtanggap, siya yung nag-accept or nag-gain, so it gains 2 electrons. So kaya nakikita na may number na 2, then negative. Mean to say, it gains 2 electrons. So nakita natin na dalawang electron ang nag-transfer sa oxygen atom coming from sodium atom. That's why 2 negative. So ang Na naman, Na plus, kasi isa ang kanyang net transfer. Alright, I hope that is clear now. Again and again, the picture will tell us that a neutral atom has no charge. Cation, okay, the cation said to be positive, and then loss of electrons, so maging cation. Anion, okay, that's gain of electrons, simply negative. Okay, cation, loss of electrons turn into positive ion, and then for the anion class, that's gain of electrons, and it became a negative. Okay, in this picture, it clearly indicates the accepting and gaining of electrons, or losing and accepting electrons. So we have 2 elements here, or atom. We also have, okay, sodium atom, Na plus. So, and then Cl stands for chlorine negative. So, Cl1. So, again, kaya wala ng number yan. Understood? Pag walang number ang charge, it means it has 1. Again, going back to the discussion class, if the atom lose electron, maging positive ion siya. But if the atom accept or gain electrons, maging negative ion siya. So, baliktad. Okay, class. Here's the difference between cation and ion. Pag sabing cation, number of electrons more than the number of protons. So, klaro yan. But when we speak about anion, the number of electrons less compared to the number of protons. Again, cation, number of electrons more than the number of protons. Anion, number of electrons less than the number of protons. Okay, class, if you notice in our introduction, I presented a periodic table. So this is the reason why. So here is a trend for ionic charge. So if you notice, class, that the elements are arranged also vertically or according to group or family. Okay, in the trend for ionic charge, so obviously may mga numbers sa taas. We have positive 1, positive 2, then 3, 4, negative 3, negative 2, negative 1, and 0. So those are the charges. So ibig sabihin yan, those elements that can be found or belongs to that specific group or family, lahat yan ay mayroong ganun na charge. For example, elements in the group 1, okay, meron silang charge positive 1. So elements in the group or family 2, meron silang charge na positive 2. And so on and so forth. So we have negative 3, negative 2, negative 1, and 0. So yung mga 0 na yan, those are stable kasi sila yung mga elements considered as noble gases. So yun ang mga charge na gagamitin natin when we do the calculations of determining the number of electrons. Okay. So in here, class, for example, in this picture, we have here for hydrogen, lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, francium. So lahat sila ay may charge na positive 1. Okay, so let's go back to the module now. So here's a step-by-step procedure to calculate the number of each subatomic particles per charged atom. So let us take a fluoride ion as an example. So number 1, first, look at the datals of the given element in the periodic table. So again, every element has its information na binibigay. So first, the element symbol, capital letter F, and then of course we have this atomic number and atomic mass. So do not be confused again. How do we know if that is atomic number or atomic mass? Simply by, of course, comparing this number. So atomic number is less than compared to the atomic mass. So mas mababa siya, class, compared sa atomic mass. And usually it's being written sa baba yung atomic number, then at taas naman yung atomic mass. But kahit saan siya ilagay, just remember that atomic mass is larger compared to its atomic number. For number 2, identify the element's atomic number and atomic mass. So again, here, example, so sodium atom or sodium element. So we have atomic number 11, element symbol, element name, and the average atomic mass. So take note of this mass, class, kasi kailangan nating i-round off into a whole number. So for example, we have 22.99, so closer to 23. So dapat when we do these calculations, dapat naka-round off na yung number para mas mabilis natin ma-arrive yung sagot. Okay. So number 3, the atomic number is equal to the number of protons and electrons. That's true if the element is neutral. Again, tandaan natin, atomic number, proton, and electrons said to be equal or pare-pareho lang pag ang ating element is neutral. Meaning to say, walang charge. Hindi siya negative, hindi siya positive, so 0 lang siya. So N is 0. In this case, fluorine is negatively charged. So bakit siya naging negatively charged? So we have here fluorine. Therefore, we will add the value of the negative charge to the number of electrons. So we have here, in getting the charge, class, just simply do this, protons minus electrons. So in the case of fluorine, since the atomic number is 9, so of course, the number of proton is said to be 9. So we have 9 and then electrons is 10. So bakit siya naging 10? So So protons minus electrons. So since we could nakita natin doon that in the periodic table class, ang fluorine kasi mayroon siyang negative 1 charge. So babalik na rin natin in class on how to do that. So since negative 1, bakit siya naging 10, sir? Since negative 1 ang charge ng fluorine, so ang gagawin natin, we'll do the opposite. Instead of 9, okay, plus 1, okay, 9 minus, so babalik na rin. So in doing that, so sir, bakit naging 10 ang electrons ng fluorine? Nasabi mo ay negative naman siya. So ganito po ang explanation nun. So we'll do the opposite. So instead of having this 9 minus 1, babalik na rin in class yung minus gagawin ting plus. So 9 plus 1, that will be 10. Okay, so get na. Okay, so we will do the opposite. If the charge is negative, ang gagawin natin i-add. If the charge is positive, ang gagawin natin i-minus natin. Alright. Okay, so number 4. To get the number of neutrons, approximate the atomic mass to a whole number and subtract the atomic number from it. So we have here atomic mass or atomic mass or mass number is the same. So 18.998. So closely, of course, rounded off, it will become 19. So how to get the number of neutrons? So simply by having this mass number minus atomic number or proton. That's why we have this 10. 19 minus 9, that will be 10. I hope klaro yan. Okay, number 5. Now you have completely determined the number of subatomic particles in fluoride ion. So class, bakit siya naging F negative na ngayon? Kasi po ay nag-accept siya or nag-gain siya ng electron. So yung charge sa taas, maging F negative. Kasi nag-accept siya or gain siya ng electron. For example, here in the picture, from fluoride atom, paano siya naging ion? Paano siya naging ion? Of course, madali lang yan. So here in the original atom class, fluorine has 9 protons or 9 electrons. But the moment na nag-gain siya ng isang electron, naging ion siya. From fluoride atom, it will turn into fluoride ion. So nag-gain or accept siya ng isang electron. So nakita natin dito class, before 9e negative. But now, na naging ion na siya, naging 10e negative. So bakit? Kasi nga 9 plus 1 na nag-accept siya, so nagiging 10. But still meron pa siyang negative sa taas because that signifies charge of electron. 10e negative. So 9e became 10e negative because it accepted 1 electron. So recap class, here are the essential things that we need to consider. For example, in a particular element, we have here those things that you need to know. Number 1, ang symbol. Okay, now huwag kalimutan ang symbol. So first, capital letter and then mayroon siyang small letter. So if that's helium, for example, so it's E, but there are elements that isa lang. For example, carbon, oxygen, nitrogen. So depends on the element. So again, atomic number of proton can be written also or like Z, capital Z, and then atomic mass in our AMU class, atomic mass in AMU. That AMU there stands for atomic mass unit. Again, the AMU stands for atomic mass unit. So 4.003, of course, it will be rounded to 4. So below naman, we have magnesium. Okay, we have 24 as the mass number, rounded off na siya. And then atomic number written below, symbol, we have 12. And then the plus 2 there is the charge. So the Mg is the symbol. So paano siya execute class? We have here how to get the number of neutrons. Okay, nakita natin dito that 24 minus 12 for mass number minus atomic number, that is 12 neutrons. So how to get the charge naman? So simply, okay, since ang ating charge class dito ay 2 positive, so again, alam na natin na pag plus siya, ay kabaligtaran natin gagawin, isa-subtract natin or minus. So become, okay, 12, that is the number of proton, minus the electron class, so 12, okay, minus the charge rather, so we have proton minus the charge, So, since plus siya 2 plus, so become 12 minus 2 instead of 12 plus 2. Again, do the opposite of 12 minus 2. That will, so 12 minus 2, that is 10 electrons. So, kaya naging siyang 10 electrons. Alright? Okay, so, to wrap up, again, the atom has nucleus and electrons, where nucleus contains protons and neutrons, while electrons can be found outside the nucleus. We have here, if atom is neutral, equal po lahat. The protons is 6, neutrons and electrons, same lang po. But if the atom is negatively charged, take note of that. So protons and neutrons is the same, but electrons differ. So same with the atom is positively charged, so ang kanyang proton neutron ay same lang, but the electrons hindi po siya similar. So now that those things are clear, so it's time for check your understanding. Okay, in check your understanding class, in table A, ang bilis lang gagawin nito, you just have to know class to determine if this species or element accept or lose electron. Yeah. So we have proton, neutrons, and electrons. Compare lang class the number of protons and electrons. So doon pa lang makita natin if this kind of element accept or lose electrons. So we have A, B, C, D, E. And for the second one, okay, you have to fill the table. So mass number, atomic number, but it's complete already. So you just have to fill in the right response in every missing part. So you have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Dot signifies the species or the element. So in proton, how to answer this? Of course, you need to have your periodic table. Alright class, so those are the things that you need to know about this topic, atomic charge, cations, and calculating if the atom is not neutral. So getting the electrons if the atom is not neutral. So I hope that you have learned something today, and to check your understanding or to test you whether you have learned from this or not, you are required or you're encouraged to answer those check your understanding questions. So alright class, that ends our lesson for today. So again class, if you haven't subscribed this YouTube channel, kindly do subscribe and hit the notification bell para updated ka lagi sa mga bagong upload na lesson. Again, this is Mr. M. Together with the other science teachers, we have Sir Chadi and Mom Jel, saying thank you for watching and see you in our next vlog. So bye everyone and keep safe.